Alright, in this video I'm going to try to go over a few concepts about harmonics. Harmonics are an excellent tool for a bassist because we are kind of limited in our range. I mean, our highest note, if you have an extended fretboard, 24 frets, is this G, and I mean it's it's alright, but we can do better. And harmonics will help us do that. There's two forms of harmonics that I really like to use. One would just be your average regular old harmonics, which is basically the way a harmonic note works is you're dividing the fretboard into different fractions. For instance, half is right here. So all you have to do is take your finger and you don't press down. You actually rest your finger over the fret marker. Now this is one of those times where you want to put your finger over the fret marker, not over the fret. And you just pluck like you would pluck any other note, and you get this harmonic noise. This can be done anywhere on the fretboard. Some places are better for it than others. The 12 mark is really good. So it's 5, 7, and then up top 24. And where's this? Now, like for instance, we use these all the time for any given reason in a song, just to kind of spice it up, make it sound less bass-esque. For instance, Victor Wooten, he does his Amazing Grace all in harmonics. It goes. That's all harmonics, and it's a great sound. It sounds really awesome, and it's very on bass like. Another method of harmonics that I don't see used as very much is what I'll call tap harmonics, or I've affectionately named it. I know this isn't the name, but I call it the Smoller technique. And the Smoller technique is a form of harmonics that allows you to kind of increase the range of your harmonics. You can get any note out of it. You're not limited by the opens. So what we're basically doing is your strings are a certain length, and when you divide them, you are essentially working with the length that they are. But by pressing on a note, for instance, we'll press on the C, on the D, on the G string, sorry. And what we will do is we'll find that same C up top, so the octave on the same string, and what we'll do is instead of plucking it, we're gonna just tap it, and what we get is that C harmonic. You can move that up, so we'll go to D, and notice I'm just tapping it. And that allows for some really cool things to be done, because now you're not limited in your harmonics. One of my absolute favorite bass videos on YouTube, I'll link to it somewhere around this general area, and it's a song, it's a solo that some fellow does, and I'll just play you a little clip of it. Since you have the link, it'll be done better justice by this guy, but it goes like this. Right here, he starts using what I call the Smoller technique. So it goes. Now he makes this chord right here, and this is the fifth fret and the second fret. So he'll tap. So it sounds like in real time. It sounds. And I think that's just an absolutely amazing riff, and props to the guy who wrote it. Make sure to check out his video, and it's great. So you can find good harmonics everywhere. We actually use harmonics in our song Drown. We use in the intro. It's actually bass. It doesn't sound like bass, but it is. because I'm using the smaller technique, and it goes. And that just makes for a sound that you don't really hear very often in metal music or rock music. I mean, maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe it's, you know, not as awesome as I think it is, but definitely invest in working on harmonics and tap harmonics. Another cool thing is, like we were going over earlier with your chords, so your major minor chord. So minor chord, instead of making it sound like that, that sounds really cool in my opinion. And that's all it is just tap harmonics, utilization of the smaller technique, and that's it. I hope you enjoy, and hope you can figure it out and utilize it in your playing. Thanks a lot.